What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Anything Goes podcast. You're back here, joined by your four amazing, great, awesome, cool kid hosts. We're actually not cool kids, but I've got Ronnie here. I've got Sean here.
What's up?
And I've got Aiden.
I am Turok!
And you've got myself, the wonderful, amazing Eli. I get a special intro.
Yeah, keep stroking yourself.
So, yeah, I have to stroke myself, man. If I'm not stroking myself, then I'm stroking another man, and that's not how I roll.
We accept gays here, so it's okay.
Fact. Anyway, how's everyone's week been? How's everyone been?
It was a 3-day weekend?
3-day weekend, could be better, so on and so forth. All right.
It was pretty cool. It was alright. It was an okay week.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Everything's a blur. I forget what happened.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that.
Bruh.
What?
This is very unfortunate timing, but look at what Kate just posted in the Discord.
Okay.
Uh.
It's happening.
Oh, wow.
It's back. Oh, shit. King's
Wow,
Canyon.
what a coincidence.
Dog.
Woo! All right, so everyone who's like listening and like, what are these guys talking about? Few of us here are avid Apex Legends players. So we get, I said a few.
Yeah.
I said a select few of us.
Oh my god.
Put that in the goddamn video immediately.
Oh, I swear, Andre put that
He
in
just
the video.
derailed.
Oh my
Dude, what a way.
What the hell is this?
This episode of the podcast is already super unprofessional.
This is why I minimize the Discord every time I start up the computer.
Literally been like 3 or 2 surprises. It's pretty great.
All right, we need to knock these out of the way now so we can get
Yeah,
to
let's
the
get
meat
rid of
the
them real
podcast.
quick. First off, three of us here in the podcast. Another couple of our friends actually are avid Apex players. We play Apex a lot. We enjoy it, and we've been waiting for World's Edge, or not for World's Edge,
King's Canyon.
but for King's Canyon to come back, and it's coming back. What, tomorrow?
Starting tomorrow, it will now be available to play alongside World's Edge. And it does
And
not
then-
state for how long, so maybe it's permanent.
Right. Well, they did say that at some point later in the future it is going to come back.
It's going to come back
and
for ranked
hopefully
play in
be
May.
permanent. So, yeah. So we're pretty excited about that. And then our editor, Andre, who is obviously going to be editing this, seen that we're all in Discord, and he quickly made a meme of Dante from Devil May Cry looking at everyone in all 4 of us in the Discord chat saying, "What the hell is this?" Hopefully he flashes that up on the screen for you guys.
If he doesn't,
But,
he's fired.
Yeah, he has to. It's mandatory.
Dude, ultimate fired.
We love you, Andre.
I don't.
Dude, he's so great.
Well,
I
I
love
do.
Andre.
If you guys at home have ever appreciated any editing moments, any sound effects, anything like that, it's all thanks to Andre, who graciously edits these podcasts, and we've been meaning to give him a shout out for a while. This is a perfect chance to do it. We love you, Andre.
Good job, Andre.
Yeah, dude.
Give
props to you. We're waiting to get him on.
Give a round of applause to yourself, Andre. No, he's putting it in.
Oh, duh. Sorry.
Cut out his applause, Andre.
Wow, failure.
Yikes.
Anyway, guys, I was reading, right? You know, I get
You could read?
Shut up. I read all the damn time, right?
Were you reading about aliens?
No. Well, yes.
You're reading about Rockwell, dude?
Little bit. Leave me alone. Jesus. Anyway, I get like notifications on my phone from Google and everything. I have my phone set to like give me a poem every day at 4:30, which is pretty neat.
Why?
But because of I don't know,
Why
it was just
4:30?
like a nice thing. Because it's typically like around the time I'm just about done with work or whatever, and
Good way to end the day, or the work
it's
day.
a good way to end work on like a nice quick little poem.
All right.
But I also get Nudes.
Nudes?
And a lot of the nudes.
Oh.
No, Eli's definitely not getting nudes.
I'm not getting nudes. Yes, 100%.
Pseudo married man, not really married. But
Pseudo married man.
Yeah.
But I got this article, right, from CCN Gaming News. First off, I'd like to add I've never heard of them before, but I mean, I guess they're pretty popular when it comes to like gaming news and everything. I'm gonna read. Yeah, CCN.
Weird. All right.
Yeah. And the article was titled, "The PS5 could be Sony's last gaming console ever." Full stop. First off,
That's bull
That
crap.
already
That's BS.
yeah.
That's BS.
Start with
What
that.
does Sony have going for them? Their movies are all trash.
Yeah, why would they ever get rid of their biggest money-making source that they have? But anyway, so it says Microsoft, Amazon, and Google could send the Sony PlayStation 5, PS5, into oblivion thanks to their supremacy in cloud infrastructure. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I wanted to kind of get into this article and read it over with you guys, and kind of just as we go, just kind of go through it, you know, like sift through, and feel free to interrupt and stop me whenever you feel like it's necessary or you got something to say. Feel free, I don't care. But yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and hop into this. So, the PlayStation is Sony's most profitable division, but a lack of direction in subscription model and cloud streaming could be its undoing in the long term. And then here we got, in bullets, we've got the Sony PS5 console could be priced higher than the PS4. An expensive console could spell the death knell of the PlayStation line.
That's not true. PS3.
Microsoft
Well,
and others
we'll get into
are
that.
busy working on delivering console quality games to smartphones at much lower cost. All right, so let's just take that because those are their
Okay.
3 main points of the
Okay.
article.
I agree
Listen.
with the expensive part of it.
The
a
expensive
lot,
part is,
'cause-
I don't know if it would blow out Sony, but let's be real. The PS3 got fucking blasted.
The PS3 at the time of its release was what, $600?
Yeah,
Yes, it was
$599 US dollars.
$109 US. They want you to have 2 jobs in order to afford this console.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's some people's whole paycheck right there.
Giant
That's
enemy
it.
That's
crap.
more than my
What
paycheck.
was the PS4 on launch?
400.
400.
400.
I think if it's anything more than that, it's not going to do that well. I don't think it'll be a disaster, but I don't think
It won't be
a
the
big
death of
success.
it, but it definitely will not
think it
get
could
nearly
be,
as
like,
much
if-
sales.
If it doesn't sell that well, Sony's not doing too hot otherwise.
Then they just
It
lower
would
the
put
price.
them in hot water. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think a price alone will be what kills them.
Price is the most important part.
I don't think it would kill the brand,
No.
but I think it could definitely. I mean, okay.
It'll hurt them.
Historically, the cheapest console usually performs the best. Let's be honest. PS4 smoked the Xbox, and not just due to price, but the $100 extra.
Well,
was
because the
part of it.
Xbox One's garbage.
Yeah,
the
but what I'm
PS4
saying
was
the
more expensive than the Xbox.
No, it was
No,
not.
it wasn't. I think. How much was the
It was
Xbox One?
$100 more, I
Xbox
believe.
One was more expensive, I think.
Was it? I thought it
Yes.
was cheaper.
No.
If I remember correctly, at E3
Nope.
that
No.
year. Okay.
That was one of the
so they
reasons
got
why
it.
no one liked it.
That was a blow up. Then the Wii absolutely smacked down everyone because it was very affordable and was novel.
I just
But
popped open
even
a
in
beer
that
here.
gen, the PS3 got fucking blasted by the Xbox because it was so expensive at launch.
Now here's my
It did come
thing.
around eventually, and that's the thing. Like
Yes.
over time, even if the PS5 isn't great at first, it can pick up steam eventually.
Yeah, and dropping prices and bundles will definitely do that, which is why I don't think it would end the brand, or like the article says, but that could be a legit problem.
So my one thing on this, really quickly,
Yeah.
is
Fact
before I
check,
keep
by the
reading.
way, it was in fact $100 more. It's $500 on release.
Yes. See,
Okay.
I'm in there, boys. Gaming historian
Good job,
over
guys.
here.
Good job. Good job. My thing is, just really quickly, is yeah, we say now that price is a big impact, which it is, But I don't think it is in the sense that we think it is. I think as far as console sales, yes, more people are like people who don't have the money to get it, or just, and pardon me, but just broke people in general are just gonna naturally migrate to the Xbox for being cheaper. But we also still have, assuming that it is, yes, because they still haven't released their pricing yet either, or told how much it costs to make their console. But at the same time, you still have to look at it from the perspective of what games are you going to play? What games do you want to play? What is it that you're looking to get into when the new console comes out? Because it's the same thing with the Xbox 360 and the PS3 to the Xbox One and the PS4.
Not anymore.
You know, the Xbox 360 at the time was far superior than the PS3, especially not only in pricing, but the games that it had as well. To me,
the problem
personally.
is this, Eli, is the fact that a lot of Xbox games are being ported over to PC now. So there's there's only a reason to get a PS4 if you want a console. So that way you can play all the PS4 exclusives and any game that you want to play on a console. And then all the Xbox games you just play on your PC.
Exactly, which kind of rules out having a need for playing an Xbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I do think
Okay.
that's good though. As a
For
consumer,
Xbox?
I like that. No, for me.
Oh, I like it too. But like,
All right.
but we're also blessed enough to be able to have a PC and another
True.
console.
Not everyone
Not
is.
everyone is.
Right.
So that's the real problem.
That's a very good point, Ronnie. Not everyone is blessed to have a PC and a console and whatever, so we are kind of lucky on that. So let me go ahead and keep reading. So this is going to be an exciting year for gaming enthusiasts, as the console generation is all set for a change, with the likes of Sony and Microsoft coming out with their latest hardware. Both companies have already given gamers a good idea about what to expect from the next PlayStation 5, PS5, and the Xbox Series X this year. But don't be surprised to see Sony shoot itself in the foot with the PS5 this time around. The Japanese giant could end up ceding its gaming supremacy to not just the Microsoft Series X, but also other deep-pocketed rivals. Other deep-pocketed rivals. As well, that could force it to bring an end to the PlayStation line. Okay, so that's not really much to discuss.
So
But
basically, I'm
Well.
guessing Amazon and Google are the rivals.
yeah, that's what I was gonna
implied
say.
here.
They don't really have other rivals.
well, we'll get into that. That is addressed in here. It is deeper addressed. So, Sony's big PS5 mistake. Sony recently pointed out that it is finding it difficult to price the PlayStation 5 console. But the grapevine indicates that the PlayStation 5 could turn out to be Sony's most expensive console ever, as it will reportedly cost $450 to manufacture, as per Bloomberg's estimate. Sorry, I'm drinking a beer right now, so it's like... I'm drinking a side. I'm
Read
drinking
first,
an Angry
drink
Orchard,
later,
so.
dog.
No, I was burping
Eli's just
because of it. but
Downing
anyway.
the beers mid podcast.
IHS Market estimates that the PS4 released nearly 7 years ago had a bill of materials of $381. So that was the price of the PlayStation 4 when it was created. That was its manufacture cost, and obviously it marketed at $399. So we know that they made roughly $20 in profit from each console sold. That console was eventually launched at $399. This means that Sony didn't make anything from the sale of the console itself if we factor in the other costs such as marketing. And now that the cost of making the PS5 console has reportedly jumped over 18% thanks to costlier parts, one can expect Sony to price the new PlayStation at around $500. That could be a bummer for Sony and very well mark the end of the PlayStation console line. The reason I'm saying this is because the gaming market is evolving beyond consoles, and a potential price hike from Sony could end up killing the PS5. Anybody got anything on that?
How much did you say? 500?
Well, that's not their most expensive console.
Yeah, that guy's
Right,
an
They're
idiot.
just wrong on
Exactly.
that one.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this console, the article is already just kind of saying.
I don't believe that
something,
article anymore.
being wrong.
$599 US dollars. $599 US dollars. We want you to get a second job to afford this console.
No, at least they're giving us a $100 discount this time.
Ridge Racer.
Right. So okay. So nothing else on that. Microsoft is moving to cloud streaming while Sony is worried about the price of the PS5. And this source is from that source. That statement is sourced from Microsoft. Microsoft, for instance, is already looking past the console. Its Xbox Project X Cloud, which is currently in the preview phase, is allowing gamers to stream more than 50 Xbox titles on their Android smartphone or tablet using Wi-Fi or mobile data. Microsoft says that users can stream console-quality games straight from the cloud to their handheld device without any waiting time. What's more, the software giant will continue to add more titles to this platform.
We'll have to wait and see. That's what they said about the. That's what Google said too, and look what happened there.
My thing is I don't buy that shit. People have been saying this kind of stuff for a while.
I think it's too early for the streaming stuff.
I look at
think
it as
it's
from
just
the technology.
It's never gonna work. Our network structure is not good enough.
That's what I mean. It's too early until we do get that sorted out.
I don't think that will ever happen.
I think it will.
Freaking
In the
providers
far
are
future.
Our providers suck. Too much ass.
That's
They're
what I said in the
never
far
gonna
Everyone
future.
was running.
I don't even then.
Unless-
I don't think they'll do it ever. They're way too cheap.
I feel like unless everyone everywhere was running fiber internet,
Even on fiber, some dude
it's-
posted a video on he was using Google Fiber and it still was.
Yeah,
delayed.
I know. Some people are, but I mean, even still, I'm saying everyone has to be on it because your
it won't
internet
change
connection, your
anything.
connection for streaming and everything isn't just from your internet. It's everyone's connection.
No, it's
the
pinned
network's
to the
connection.
server
It's
that is holding the actual game and has the actual computer.
from them to the
So-
node
so
or
even-
wherever. But
Even with fiber, it doesn't make it that much better.
yeah. So Microsoft has revealed the pricing of its Microsoft hasn't revealed the pricing of its platform just yet, but it isn't likely to be very expensive. That's because the company's recently announced Xbox Game Pass Ultimate can be subscribed to for just $15 a month. Sorry, guys. Sony's competing streaming service, PlayStation Now, costs $10 a month. Even if Microsoft's streaming service is priced at a slight premium to these two plans, it could be a big win. That's because anyone opting for the xCloud streaming service won't have to buy a console like the PS5. One can simply use their smartphone
buy a
to access
tablet.
games of their choice. But anyone with Sony's PlayStation Now streaming service won't be able to do that. The service is only compatible with PlayStation 4 consoles and PCs, which means that gamers will have to make a major hardware investment. This is where the PS5 could end up failing, as the world is moving toward the cloud gaming. And Microsoft has started making the transition already.
No,
All right.
no, wait.
I don't know
I'm gonna-
who wrote this article because
Yeah.
clearly they just don't understand what they're talking about. It's not moving that direction. They're making it an
actually
option.
moving-
It's something
they're
that
moving
people
away.
are creating it hey, maybe if some people want this, but it's not the future. It's not everyone's yes, please give me
Here's the
cloud
thing.
streaming.
Here's the thing. People who play video games, what do they usually hate the most? They hate playing on their phones half the time.
Exactly.
There's no way in
Gamers
hell
don't
you're going to
play
convince
games
me that
on their
people are going to
phone.
want to prefer to play everything on their phone than actually with a controller.
Dude, and honestly, some of us are pretty fucking autistic about our controllers on top of that. I can't play some kinds of games without my fucking special controller.
How are you supposed to use
Straight
your
up.
joystick,
How
dude?
am I,
Your
how
fight
am I
stick.
supposed to play? Okay, I have two big problems with streaming. I play fighting games. How the fuck am I supposed to pull off some Daigo Parry shit when I have 80 billion frames of latency because my neighbor's internet sucks dick and they're sucking up all my bandwidth? On top of that, how am I supposed to even play the game if I can't use my fight stick? It's bullshit. I do
Streaming's
not buy
stupid.
it. If you're interested in actually being good at an online game, streaming is not an option.
I'll say
Now here's one
It's
thing
not
I
even
will
just
say.
online either. I used PS Now to try and play Asura's Wrath because it was the only way, and it's just impossible to play.
yeah, it's garbage. It's dumb. Oh, okay. If Google couldn't pull it off, what does Microsoft think it's gonna do? Like, what?
Because it would be running roughly the same technology.
Yeah, and so it'll be garbage.
So it's gonna be.
So it's gonna be garbage.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and it's already been proven.
Yeah, that thing's
it
a
is
piece of
garbage.
trash. I even forget what it's called.
Stadia.
Stadia? That's what it's called? Yeah, that thing's a piece of trash.
Now, my peace of mind to the guy who wrote this article is, I need him to spend a little more time around actual gamers before he writes an article about games. Because
I think what he needs to do is back it up with evidence and statistics.
Yeah, some research. I
Right.
mean, the
I need numbers.
PlayStation 5 wouldn't even be the most expensive PlayStation console.
Eli,
right, even if it was $500.
Eli,
Even adjusting for inflation, it's not even close.
Eli, I'm
The
sorry.
PS4 3 was super expensive.
I'm sorry, Eli, but you got hit with that clickbait.
No, I actually read the whole article before, and I actually enjoyed it because I was like, this is gonna make for good podcast. content.
It's
the
not-
boys,
complete
the boys are
garbage.
gonna rip this shit.
It-
Well, hold on. There's one more thing though. I'm sorry, but this just okay. $15 a month, right? Is what they said is a potential price point.
No, that
Xbox
is the
Pass.
price point for the Xbox
Yes,
streaming service.
but they said let's assume it's around. Let's assume it's $15 a month for the streaming and the Xbox Cloud together, because you have to buy the game still. Just because
Right.
you subscribe to streaming doesn't give you access to the game. Stadia makes you buy the game still. So it's $15 for 12 months for 1 year, which is $180. How long is the average console gen? What, 5 years, give or
5
take?
or so. Yeah.
So $180 a
like
year
it's like
times
7.
5 comes out to $900. That's more expensive than buying a console.
That's not even the worst of it. I also factored into this myself when because I did the exact same thing you did. I also factored in the fact that if you want to do this, you will have to have top of the line internet. Now, as me and Sean were just going over, fiber is the best you can do.
Yep.
So for you to be able to do this, let's say you have to now pay for the most expensive internet you can get. You have to pay for the fastest you can get for this to even work. So now, up your Wi-Fi bill. You now have to pay for fiber. Fiber from AT&T with a discount costs $100 a month. And that's just with AT&T's
Yikes.
fiber internet. That's not with phone service. That's not with television service or anything like that. I researched this stuff, and I also some time ago, used to work for AT&T, and I sold fiber, so I know how this. I know it.
Lord
so
have
it's like
mercy.
This article's
that's
so
another
stupid.
$100 a month. So $100 for another 12 months. You are
1,200.
already spending $1,200 for a shitty console or a shitty service that does not work.
Not only that, but the people.
Not only that, you will be locked into a contract.
The people who are buying this, because he's like it's for cost saving. The people who are forced to do this for cost saving, you think they have good enough internet to run the streaming service?
This doesn't make
It's so
sense.
stupid.
Exactly.
Eli, this article's retarded. This man doesn't think.
The whole point of it, dude. I know. I wanted us to make fun of it. I wanted us to point out
Okay.
every flaw. Like,
Okay,
that was the point.
You know,
So-
you know what this article reminds me of? I was reading this article like many moons ago about like the Fable 3 like art cover. For Fable 3. Fable 3 art cover is like a simple, it's like a dude holding up a gun in front of, and he's like reaching for a crown. That's what it is. And in it, the article, the guy said that there was a lot of problems with the thing. Like he was talking with somebody who like gave insider news about it. And he's like, and the guy was like, yeah, I went over there and I was telling them like, hey, here's my idea of the article. I want it to be a black woman holding up 2 guns. And then the guy says, no, put a dragon on it. Dragon sells video games. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. There's not even a dragon in our game. And then he says, well, you can't put a black woman on. You want to know why? Because Princess and the Frog. And guess how that movie did? And my first, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, this guy is getting lied to so hard by this man, because this guy, first off, I looked it up. Fable 3 came out before Princess and the Frog. And secondly, here's even more stupid that it is. you can't even play as a black woman in Fable 3. you can only play as a white man or a white woman. You can't. So
either way, you'd be lying anyway. If you put a black woman on it or you put a dragon on it, they're both not in the game.
Guy's lying in general because he's like the guy's just clearly lying. Like, the second you look at it, you're just like, this guy's lying, and this guy put out this article anyways.
Yeah, hold on. Let's finish this article.
Yeah, let's
finish it up.
Let's finish this
dumbass
dumbass
and then
article.
Also, I want to read some of the comments because
I'm cracking
people
my
in comment
knuckles and
sections
baring my
are
fangs
the
right
best
now
thing.
with this shit.
All right, so this is the last segment. Why the PlayStation 5 could be the end of the road. According to third-party research, there's no
Nintendo link or citation.
There's no link. Let me see. Hold on. I'm checking for a link. Okay, there is a link to and they researched via Comtext, brand essence market research via Comtext. Okay. So it is backed. So this portion is backed. Okay. According to third-party research, the cloud gaming market is expected to clock a compound annual growth rate of nearly 25% through 2025. First off, I'm gonna stop right there already. That's a long ass time to get people in when the new generation of consoles is coming out. That's already halfway through the run. So let me just.
Where are you even growing from? 25% of like.
What? Yeah, 25% of 100. I mean, come on.
Okay, so it's not surprising to see why Microsoft is looking to make a gaming platform independent, while Sony is stuck deciding the price of the PS5. You can already see this guy's just striking Sony about the price. He's not really getting into any of the other details.
He's just mad.
Yeah, he's just pouring mad.
I was mad.
The alarming thing for Sony and the PS5 is that Microsoft is not the only one going after the cloud gaming market, though. Google, for instance, is planning to offer a free version of its Stadia cloud gaming service. The service is currently limited by an upfront investment of $129 for a Stadia controller and a Chromecast Ultra. The Google is now looking to knock that barrier down. So, according to them, they are planning on making the Google Stadia free instead of people paying $129 for it as an upfront investment. And then it's got a quick little interview from Google executive Phil Harrison, recently told Protocol in an interview, the big strategic difference is that over the next few months, you'll be able to experience Stadia for free. No money down. Without having to put a box in your home, you can just click and play amazing games straight from your data center. This could be another big challenge for Sony's PS5 and probably not the last one, as Amazon is reportedly looking to grab a piece of the action as well. Quoting Wedbush Securities analyst Michael Pachter, Protocol reported, I would bet everything that it's this year, an actual game streaming service from Amazon, no later than the launch date for the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5.
And that's Michael Pachter, correct?
Yes, Michael Pachter. Pachter. Michael is as in Michael. All right. Not surprisingly, Microsoft's gaming head, Phil Spencer, as we all know and love Phil Spencer, now sees Amazon and Google as its primary rival in the gaming space and not Sony, he told Protocol. When you talk about Nintendo and Sony, we have a ton of respect for them, but we see Amazon and Google as the main competitors going forward. That's not to disrespect Nintendo and Sony, but the traditional gaming companies are somewhat out of position. I guess they could try to recreate Azure, but we've invested tens of billions of dollars in cloud over the years. Full stop. Now, my other thing on this is, Phil Spencer, who are you to say that the two companies who have outdone you majorly the past decade are not your rivals, are not in a place to compete with you?
I think
that already right there just does not sound right to me.
I think it's
personally.
the other way around.
Exactly. I would say Nintendo and Sony would see you guys as not a competitor. This last gaming decade, you guys have not been a challenge. Until the last year, what was it, middle of last year, to now, you guys have finally started making waves. But before then, it was nothing. And we're already at the end of the gaming decade. So what do you mean? You can't say that. You don't have the right to say that, in my opinion.
Yeah, Phil Spencer, go choke on a cock.
My thing is, Nintendo even works directly with Microsoft in some ways, and like basically they're like, yeah, well, you can have Banjo, like take Banjo, please put him in Smash. We're desperate for the attention we're gonna get from that kind of thing. Like Nintendo and Microsoft, I don't think. Maybe Microsoft thinks that, but I guarantee you Nintendo doesn't even think of them as a competitor. I mean, Microsoft is non-existent in Japan. The Xbox is extremely weak brand in Japan. I don't think they're even on the same level.
Which is a major center for gaming. A major center for gaming. Korea, major center for gaming. It's not there.
Not even really in Europe, to my knowledge. It's really an American-only thing.
Yeah, the Xbox is mainly in North America. I would say North America, maybe a little bit of Southern America because it's cheaper. And that's not. I'm sorry, whoever's listening from Southern America, but I'm just saying this. You know, the economy and everything down there is not so hot.
Sucks to be you.
I assume you guys would I assume that you guys would buy the cheaper console, personally. But that's just me saying that from what I feel would be a facts point.
It's a bummer.
But yeah, I'm like, you don't have the stats or the numbers to say that right now. Like, when you can show the numbers to prove that this statement is a fair statement, then go ahead and say it. But right now, you don't have those numbers. So let's finish it here real quick. There's just 2 more paragraphs, or 1.5 paragraphs. Given that there are around 3.5 billion smartphone users in the world, the likes of Microsoft, Amazon, and Google have a better shot at succeeding in the cloud gaming space thanks to their existing cloud infrastructure. People can simply buy a capable smartphone and stream games right from the cloud. This is where Sony is currently lacking, and that's why don't be surprised to see the PS5 turning out to be the last in the line of consoles from the Japanese country. Full stop.
It's so dumb because their big thing is the cloud and the streaming, and it's like, yeah, Sony isn't doing that, but they don't need to. They really don't.
Yeah, they literally
don't need to. If anything, I think it's a good thing that both Sony and Nintendo aren't focusing on that, because so far it's being proven that it's complete garbage.
They're reading their markets.
Yeah.
Unlike Microsoft.
Remember when Sony did a mad dab on you when you didn't want to have like physical copies, and they did that mad dab on you? Did you forget that already? They're about to do it again.
And the thing is, they thought, and here's what I see it as. They thought at the time that was the greatest thing. They thought that's what gamers wanted. They thought it was so positive. They're like we're not going to be using...
people want
like,
that.
No, they didn't.
We're not going to
be... They knew what they were doing. They just tried to sell it positively.
They did that, and yeah, right. They tried to sell it positively. And I feel like it's the same situation with this. And everyone literally responded negatively about it. Even at their press conference at E3, when they announced it, people literally booed. People were like, boo. That shit out of here, dog. I don't like that.
I think this is different, because that was them, like, trying to cuddle up with the big developers and shit. This is them, like, actually thinking this new technology is going to be super sick when it's not going to be.
I feel like it's still the same route.
Here's the thing. I feel like it is the same thing.
This is, like, genuine excitement from them. The other thing they weren't excited about, other than that, the money it would generate.
The Xbox One was a really autistic beast in general. They clearly did not care about video games when they were making that console. They cared more about streaming services. They care about media in general. They wanted to get the media's attention for their console rather than the video games, and that's the reason why I didn't care for the Xbox One and why I care more for Sony and Nintendo. Nintendo's all about video games, and Sony, they suck at everything but video games. So that's all they got. So that's why I trust them way more than I trust Microsoft, who's been proving that they don't know what they're doing anymore, it seems.
And just a PSA to Microsoft, you can buy as many game companies, corporation, developer offices, studios as you want. That doesn't mean that because you now own them, you now have the better console or the better games. You guys bought once great companies and partnered with Rare Studios and all this other stuff and still didn't make a splash. So you guys I mean, with, again, Banjo-Kazooie and everything, yeah, it was great. People were happy to have it, but did it make the impact that you guys thought it would make? No, it didn't.
Hell no.
And then the other thing that I wanted to touch on was this phone thing. They're talking about how 3.5 billion smartphone users in the world, they're assuming that they're going to make a pretty decent amount, pretty decent amount of people to be able to stream games from their phone. Now, here's my thing, right? I'm going to lay down some Elijah statistics, which are not factual or based on anything. So they're just how I feel. So
hold that.
I feel like most gamers who have a cell phone don't game on their phone, because they're trying to back this and say that you can get console quality. That's literally what it said in the article. Console quality streaming of games on your cell phone. Even if I could get that on my cell phone right now, I would not want to play it. Because A, my phone could not run it. My phone is not powerful enough to do it. And for that matter, I don't think almost any phone is enough to do that. Now, if
it would be
there
because
is a
it's
phone,
streaming.
I'm going to say it is going to be a top of the line. You have to get like the iPhone 11 Pro or the Samsung Galaxy S20 if you want to be able to use these
I
services.
mean, even if
That's
you could,
not.
And
why
no,
would you
even
want
then-
to?
It doesn't. It's a stream. It doesn't use
Yeah.
the phone's technology.
That was the whole thing for Stadia.
You don't need a good phone. It streams from someone who has a good phone, and they just send it to you. That's how it works.
I don't get why, assuming it works. Let's assume the product is actually not even bad, which we know it is. It's been demonstrated time and time again. The product sucks cock. Why would you even want to? Why would you
here's the
want
thing.
to
Here's
play
the
these
thing.
amazing experiences on a
We're-
tiny touchscreen?
The problem is we're coming from, I think, the wrong angle. They're not necessarily aiming for us. They're
Yeah.
aiming for all the people who have smartphones who otherwise don't play these things because they don't care to buy a console.
Yeah, not everyone has a
those people-
console,
And
but
that's
everyone
where
has a
I think
phone.
it's not necessarily mutually exclusive in the sense like this can be a really big thing, just maybe not for like the core gaming market, but it could still be
Right.
like a big boon for them. It
I
could
just,
still be a
I
big success.
really don't think
Fair
that
enough, that's
audience.
fair enough
I
to
don't
me.
think that audience exists. I think that I've looked at statistics for this kind of thing where people have been, for instance, you'll get like the game. It's like sort of like this general. They represent the gaming industry as a whole and like put out stats. They'll say things like 50% of gamers play games on their phones and stuff like that. You know, but what they don't account for is, quote, the games you're playing. Like, what does that actually mean? It means if you play Candy Crush once every 2 weeks, you're a gamer. So
Yeah,
the
that's what they
statistics,
consider
the
you.
population statistics they're getting this from and the market analysis they're making is kind of leaping ahead. Like, they're assuming that someone who plays Candy Crush every once, some grandma who's going to play Sudoku on her phone every month, is
Right.
also interested in playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 17 and paying for a Microsoft streaming service. I just don't think the audience is that big.
They might if it was available. It's not available now, so they don't. 'cause they
But I
can't-
don't think they
I
would,
just don't
because
think they would
a lot
pay
of-
for that service. Who would subscribe to us? If you're a casual like that, you're not subscribing to an relatively expensive yearly
Here's the
service.
perfect
I don't know, but
Here's
someone
the
like my
perfect
dad who has
demographic.
played games in the past but doesn't buy a console, he might see that and be like, "Oh, I'll play, I don't know, fucking the newest Uncharted on my phone."
There will
Yeah,
there will
until
be
how
people.
long when he's
Yeah.
like, oh, this isn't what I
I
really want
don't
it to
know. I
be.
have a hard time seeing that it's really panning out. I think that it's idealistic, and I think that the assumption that people who will occasionally play a game on their phone are the same people looking for a 10 to 20 hour gaming experience of the highest quality. I don't think that's the same.
The problem
I
is that
100% agree
they're
with
throwing
you.
their hats in a generation that is just full of streaming services, of monthly
That's
paid
true.
streaming services. So
That's true.
that's another problem that they have to face, is the fact that it's what, $15 a month? How much does
Yeah.
Netflix
That
cost?
was the Xbox one. That was just the Xbox Game Pass thing.
That's what I mean.
Which is pretty cool. It's cool and all, but we're assuming that the price could be similar. $15 a month. How much is Stadia a month?
I don't know.
I don't know, but there's so
I'll
many
check
there's
for
so
you
many
guys.
streaming services that people are already paying for. It's just another one on top. So there's a lot of things of like, I don't think people are going to be willing to pay for all their Netflix, all their Hulus, all their other stuff, and then have to throw up another $15 a month for like video games that they aren't even really going to play because they won't have time for.
$10 a month for Stadia.
Okay.
So again, the cost isn't even over time. The cost to me doesn't seem much lower than just buying a console in the first place.
Right.
And to add on to that, I found some interesting things. Because one is, you said Michael Pachter, and he is infamous for being a huge retard. In 2009, this is a classic line from Pachter. In 2009, he said the PS3, Wii, and Xbox 360 era of consoles would be the last generation of consoles ever.
Oh, so he keeps saying that.
Yeah. So he just says dumb shit. He's just
Stadia has had in the first 2 to 3 weeks of its release had 175,000 downloads of the app, not necessarily purchases, just downloads of the app. The PS4 in America alone had over 1 million sales in the first 2 days. To add on to that, the guy who launched Stadia was the guy behind the major role in the launches of the PS3 and Xbox One. Basically, streaming has been a fucking blow up. It sucks cock for anyone who's like
and
really
his
interested in
consoles
games.
Are failures.
That guy's consoles have been a blow up. People have been saying this every gen, and I think I can see where Sean's coming from, assuming the price is low enough to entice that audience.
People will do it. People will.
I think it would be a hard sell. I don't know Sean's dad that well. I think I would struggle to sell Sean's dad, hey, you can play Uncharted on your phone for $15 a month.
Okay, but
that's a tough sell.
I feel like that's not
But
even really what their
$5 a
marketing
month?
demographic is.
I mean,
though.
you also
$5 a month, yeah.
probably also consider the Asian market that loves mobile gaming. That's why Call of Duty Mobile is like one of the biggest games of all time.
They do love mobile gaming, but the Asian market also has lots of ways for people to play games on a system.
They do, but
Through
they don't.
through
They
like
still just
internet
play on their
cafes
phone.
and shit.
Okay, here's my question, Sean. How often does your dad play games on his phone in general, like Candy Crush or Block
He
Breaker
doesn't.
or whatever?
What I would say, like
he doesn't.
He's played big games before. He just doesn't want to buy a console. He doesn't.
Okay,
it's just not
so
something that's interesting.
that's all I wanted to know.
Reaches
So
to
he
him.
doesn't play games on his phone.
Not really.
So what they're basing that when Aiden said the statistics for or how they get their statistics for people who game on their phone.
Yeah, for the
your
size
dad,
of
so
gamers and shit.
Your dad, first off, is not a
Doesn't-
part of that demographic. So technically, we're not even counting your dad. This is just on the hypothetical situation because technically he's not a part of their market. My girlfriend would be the perfect demographic for what they're talking about. She doesn't play video games ever. She never wants to. She doesn't care about them, but she plays games on her phone. She plays games like this Block Breaker or whatever, Color Brick. I don't know, it's like Candy Crush. She plays those things. Now I asked her, and I was talking to her because I read this whole article with her, and I said, would you ever stream games like full AAA titles or whatever, like the games that I play or anything like that, to your phone? Would you ever do this? Because she is a part of that marketed demographic that their stats are talking about. Now I get it, she's one out of millions, but she is one of them. She said, I would never, and I don't know anyone who would. That's just
Yeah,
the point I want to make. Like, she's
I
like, I don't know anyone
I
who
have a
would do
hard
that.
time buying this whole idea.
So it's just kind of
I
like,
wasn't really,
what do you mean?
necessarily the type of people I was talking about, but
But
No,
I mean,
I know, but
that's
as far
the
as
kind
from
of
what
people
the article
I'm talking
says
about.
and
Yeah.
from what Aiden's statistics were for it, that's what it lines up with. So-
I'd also say
But
another,
yes, technically your dad would still be a part of the overall market. We would still consider him a part of it. But from what their statistics are from the gamers who game on their phone, he wouldn't be one of them. But
you also
let's-
keep
let's-
in mind that one part of the reason mobile gaming is so huge in Asian countries is gacha.
well, that's why I use
Gacha
Call of
is
Duty
really
as an
big.
example because it's not one of those.
Oh,
And it's
yeah,
still
'cause
absolutely
it's not.
massive.
It is big, but I would say something like Grand Blue or Fate Go is even bigger. It's just gigantic in Japan.
I'm not
especially.
sure. I think I have to check it again, but I saw some statistic that Call of Duty Mobile is like disgustingly massive.
World of Tanks, guys. Raid Shadow Legends. Can we get a sponsor in here? Raid
Hell yeah.
Shadow Legends?
Raid
Thanks.
Shadow Legends, please.
Raid Shadow Legends, don't you ever step anywhere close to my podcast.
You back the fuck away, piece of shit.
I don't want you and your
Ever
stupidly
offered me.
high productive commercials coming anywhere close to me.
God.
They're high
They are
production.
so annoying. We will morally not make any money off this podcast just because we won't want a freaking sponsor.
Freaking hate them.
You say that now.
I do say that
I'm
now,
in.
but I'm
I
pretty
mean, I don't
sure.
give a
I
shit,
stand
dude.
pretty strong on
I'm
it.
totally
have my
shilling
soul,
Raid.
dude.
I'm gonna make fun of them.
Well, that'd be edited out. But let me read some of the comments, right? Some of the comments I agree with and some of the ones I don't. So this one is one I kind of agree with. So this guy, King Corone, Corone, I don't know. It's like C-A-R-O-N-E. Don't be on that. Millions of gamers still prefer a console, and better yet, many others don't have significant internet. Did Microsoft make a huge splash last year with their Xbox Games Pass? Did Google Stadia? Since the answer to that is no, then there's your answer to whether gamers prefer streaming games to console. Quality of streaming doesn't match the hardware experience no matter what yourself or other pundits push. I agree with him. If you're believing that gamers prefer streaming games, if that's your assumption, you guys are assuming that gamers prefer streaming games over the hardware, then you guys aren't looking back at your history. The Stadia did terrible. The Game Pass was meh. It was presented with lukewarm reception. Like he said, the answer to both of those was no. They didn't make a huge splash. And those were the big things of, yeah, until later when the technology works. But even then, it's still, will it, is the question. So it's hard to say that people are ever going to be like, oh yeah, dude, streaming is way better than the actual hardware of the device itself. When, as of right now, the track record for streaming is terrible. It hasn't done great. There's nothing about it that's been released to the public with high praise. The Stadia literally took to social media and defended itself against people, individual content creators who said it was bad. What company does that? One who is in genuine fear of, holy crap, we released something bad and everyone's talking about it, how bad it is, or our product doesn't work. We need to do something. And instead of, actually working better and saying, oh, hey, sorry guys, it's not working as we intended yet, or whatever, we're still working on it, patch updates, notes, whatever. They went to social media to defend themselves and say, people are liars. Like, I've read so many tweets by Google Stadia saying, don't believe the hype that it's all bad. I was like, are you serious? You don't do that. I don't know. I don't think that's a right way to go about something as a company. Let me read some other stuff. Let's see. I didn't hear him mention the latency issues many people were having with Stadia. So that's basically the guy just mentioning people had issues with Stadia. He never brought it up, but people try to mix things up.
Eli, are there any comments that sides with this guy?
Yes.
Okay, can you go to those ones?
Got one right here, actually, right when you said that. So, actually, the Game Pass was a huge success for Microsoft, but the rest you're right on. For now... Oh, wait, nope, never mind.
Yeah, thank you.
Switched up really quick. Okay, no, I got one. Okay, I got one. Let me verify before I start reading it, and it's the worst thing ever.
I'm waiting.
No, so that's another one that's for the PS5. Okay, it's super hard. Okay, got one. Okay, also, the person who made this comment, his name is Elijah. Just so you guys know, it's not me.
All right.
His name is Elijah. This is incredibly stupid statements about the Xbox Series X due to the extreme lack of research. Yes, Series X will have the streaming service as well as very, very high-end computer parts, expected to be able to have a desktop mode and use the computer and to use programs such as Steam, as well as Xbox Series X games being able to be played on a console, Xbox One, and vice versa. Sorry, this is typed really poorly. more than anything that any PlayStation could ever even come close to boasting. So this guy is basically just saying the Series X is better than anything Sony's ever done. Like, okay.
I don't know. This article's ass.
There was a specific one that I really want to read. I gotta find it.
Listen, I'm gonna be frank. I don't see this as the end of the line whatsoever. I think it's doomsaying. I think the technology doesn't work. There's hypotheticals we can argue about, but they're hypotheticals. The facts don't line up. They don't support the assertion. And frankly, the article itself contains blatant misinformation. So, I'd give this article a fat 10 out of 10. Sick read, epic clickbait. I mean, I don't know what else to say really about this other than it sucks.
Can't believe we spent the entire podcast on this stupid article.
Let's move on. Let's shoot this.
Was it not good I felt like this was good
It is. It is. It is damn good. But I just want to put a bullet in the back of this article's head now.
Yeah. Like, I just
Line him up outside the wall. Time to put him down.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
I want to... Okay, this person starts talking about specs and everything.
Listen,
Just forget it.
It's done. Eli, listen, it's time to man up, take it out behind the shed, and finish it off, okay?
The dirt's already been laid, dude. It's done.
It's done.
The dirt in the back of it. Oh, man.
Put a gun sound.
Put some digging.
Some sad music.
Do the
a little sad
like,
violin
song or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
Anyway, yeah, I liked that article because I liked how stupid it was.
Yeah, it was fun to talk about.
I thought it was really cool, and I liked reading it. I was thinking maybe I might do a few more.
I can only pray it's as fun to listen to.
Yeah,
Smile,
I'm not just gonna pick stupid articles. I'm like ones that are just like really bad and just like I don't even want to.
We're gonna emulate every other podcast out there. Hey guys, today a Florida man was arrested for running around naked, and then everyone on the podcast fakes it like they really care. Like, oh my god, really? That's crazy.
No,
yeah.
Hell no, dude. We're real here.
Yeah, I'm putting
We
those
talk
podcasts.
about what we really care about. If we don't care, we don't talk about it.
Yeah, those podcast guys out there, I'm putting you on blast. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, go
you guys
suck
are
a
frauds.
dick, you pieces of shit.
You're frauds.
What a bunch of losers.
Hey, speaking of
We're making
frauds,
a lot of enemies already.
yeah, dude, China, CCN, whoever wrote that article, definitely on.
Bombus.
Dude,
Bombus.
Hey.
Okay, dude, the author, his name is. Okay.
No, you can't.
I don't want to.
Yeah, don't give out his name.
Him.
Don't give out his name.
I'm not gonna.
Don't give out his name.
Mind.
Don't give out his name.
All
three of our followers are gonna harass him.
No.
You
No.
guys could find the article.
No.
I don't want to
Don't
hear about
even.
the article ever again.
Just pretend that he just doesn't even exist.
Honestly, that kind of content, it feels like a bot made it.
That's how you defeat people.
Yes.
That's how you defeat those articles. You just don't give them any clicks.
True. That's true.
Until they pay Chinese click farmers. Oh
Also
shit, no,
true.
China, I'm sorry.
No, screw you, China. Come at me.
Dude, I bet Chinese click farms are.
About,
You think Chinese click farms are closed right now?
No.
No, hell no.
Oh yeah, they are closed. They're too busy.
Yeah.
They are closed. They're working on their sweatshops right now.
Oh yeah, you're right. Feels.
I don't think they don't care about labor laws. What do you mean? What do you
I
mean?
just
They got
gotta-
them working overtime.
Because
They're doing
everyone's
both.
dying of the plague, Eli.
They don't care about that.
Oh, shit. You're right.
They run people in sweatshops, so why would they care?
Dude,
They
why
got
does
people working
China always
sweatshops
come
and
up on
click-
the podcast? We're always
You're
shitting on China.
it's the
I'm
biggest
sorry.
evil.
Great, an admirable epicness.
It's the
Yeah,
final
they truly
boss.
are.
Great country.
What a virtuous
I love talking
country.
about them.
I love China. You know what I love about China the
Uh,
most?
Please be on the next podcast, China.
I love
China?
Chinese. I love
Leave us on the-
Americanized Chinese food.
Yeah,
That shit
fake
is-
Chinese
that shit-
food.
that shit
that
is
shit is
good.
fire, dude.
That shit is
so good.
fire.
The only thing that's ever good that's come out of China is Wukong. That's pretty much it.
What about orange
Kung Fu
chicken,
Hustle.
dude?
No, just Wukong.
Chinese fortune
Orange
cookies are
chicken.
American invention. Did you know that?
Yep. Blown
Yeah.
out. China.
Thanks,
Dude.
Mandarin.
Yeah, bro. We're straight up inventing culture for them, dude. We got your guys' back, okay? You can
Yeah,
take
we'll
the credit.
help.
You guys
Don't
take
worry,
the
guys.
credit.
We'll help
It's
you
not
out.
American. It's Chinese. It's legit. Fortune cookies are in there.
I actually am not gonna lie to you guys. 100% forgot to do an ad read. Forgot to make an ad read for this episode. So
We
my ad
advertise
read.
China.
Yeah,
What?
my ad read for this episode is going to actually be
What?
let me see. I don't have one. I'm trying to think of one.
Okay, listen.
I literally can't think of
An
one right now. I'm like
what
zoned.
the fuck is going on? The recording? Okay, thank you.
I don't know what's going on, but I
Okay,
guess there's
listen.
nothing
Listen.
going on here, but-
Edit that shit out immediately.
That's gonna be edited.
Edit that
anyway,
out.
So guys, this episode of the podcast has been brought to you guys actually by
Give it up.
Lysol wipes and washing your damn hands, because motherfuckers have the coronavirus, and even here in our own city we've got like 2 cases or some shit like that. So yeah, wash your damn hands.
Coronavirus
Aiden.
gang.
Aiden, when was the last time you washed your hands?
Probably 30 minutes ago. I don't know. I wash my hands like crazy. I'm always washing my hands. It's actually
Well,
a problem.
great.
My hands are so... You know what? We need an ad read for... We need an ad read for lotion, because my hands are like mummy crust hands.
Well, let
Like
me
the
give you-
the dust is like pouring off my hands. I'm like gonna be just crack up and disappear one of these days, because I'm just gonna turn into dust. Because I'm
Well, it's
always
great that you
washing
say
my
that.
hands every 5 seconds, and I don't know. I don't dry them well enough. I guess I don't know.
Well, it's great that you say that, because our ad read, our actual ad read for the day, is actually Aveeno Active Naturals Daily Moisturizing Lotion. Get a small little bottle, put a little bit on your hand. This stuff works wonders for your skin. Smooths it right out. Clinically proven to relieve dry skin. Moisturizes for 24 hours. That's long-lasting and fast-acting action right there. You get a double play. And on top of that, it's fragrance free. So if you wanted to put it on your face, you can, because you know, if you put fragrance lotions on your face, it's causes like acne breakouts and stuff like that. So shout out to our sponsor for this episode of the podcast, Aveeno Daily Active Naturals, or whatever. I read that wrong, but
I like Aveeno now. Thanks.
hey, great. Ronnie, what about you? You got any testaments for Aveeno?
Aveeno keeps me nice and healthy.
Sean?
I have nothing to say.
Great.
I thought Roddy was gonna be like, I rub it on my dick or something.
That's disgusting, Aiden.
Wow, it's disgusting.
That's disgusting.
All right, guys, thanks
Aiden.
for listening. Subscribe and like. Bye. Bye. Get out. Bye.
Wait.
Leave. What?
Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet.
Leave.
Ah, get the fuck.
China, stop holding Grand Blue hostage.
Free the slaves.
That too. But mostly Grand Blue.
Yeah, give us Grand Blue already, you fuckos.
I'm gonna stop recording now.
Okay.